Today, boys and girls, we're going to be studying character traits.
We're going to be using the book The Berenstain Bears, No Girls Aloud by Stan and Jan Berenstain. If you've not watched the read aloud on our other YouTube video, please hit pause and watch this story. You're really going to need it for this lesson. So, what are character traits?
Character traits are the way we act. They're different than our feelings. The feelings such as happy and sad, angry, jealous, those change quickly. I could be happy one minute and sad the next. But our character traits, they don't change so easily. If I'm a friendly, helpful person, I usually act that way most of the time. I'm helpful one day, and I'm usually a helpful person the next day. Are there negative traits such as like bossy? And if I'm a bossy person, that's usually who I am throughout the day. And you can find me being bossy by my words, my thoughts, and my actions. But the good thing about character traits is they can change. They just change slowly over time.
Here's a list of some common character traits. Now, this isn't all the traits out there, but it are the ones that are the most common in the books that we read. On the left side are some positive traits like smart and wise, helpful and caring, humble. And on the left side of the list are the opposite and the negative character traits like arrogant, foolish, or naive, mean and cruel, arrogant and vain. Some important things to notice. All these character traits that we all have them. I have all of these at different times, and just like characters in books. And we're going to learn more about that in another lesson later on. And another important thing to notice is that characters usually start off with a negative trait. And this negative trait is going to change over the course of the story. It's often the lesson the character is going to learn. Sometimes you might see a character start off with a positive trait and it might change to the negative over the course of the story. As we are studying the book Berenstain Bears and No Girls Aloud, we're going to look at Sister Bear and we're going to find which of these traits that she shows the most often. And I want you to use this list in your chapter book as well to find out which of these traits your character shows the strongest, and maybe even which traits kind of change over the course of your story.
Okay, so let's look at the book No Girls Aloud by Stan and Jan Berenstain. And we're going to study Sister Bear. We're going to look at her words, her thoughts, and her actions. And we're going to try to find a strong trait that she has. We're going to use our list and we're going to see something that keeps repeating over the course of the story. Now, remember that there's going to be a negative trait that usually happens in the beginning of the story, and it's going to cause Sister Bear some problems. And that's going to kind of give me a hint on how to find a trait that the character has. So let's open up the book and take a look.
In this scene, it says, Brother and his friends didn't like losing either. And what made it worse was the way Sister celebrated every time she won. Her victory dance and cartwheels were annoying, but it was the war whoops that really got on everybody's nerves. This gives me a hint. Here's a negative trait that Sister Bear has, and I see Sister Bear acting kind of prideful and vain. So I'm going to look throughout the book and see if I can find other instances where Sister Bear acted in this way. Then there's this scene near the end of the book, the climax of the story. I remember this was a time that Sister Bear was thinking about being prideful and vain. I suppose that's true, agreed Mama. But you know, there's such a thing as a bad winner, too. Someone who makes a big, braggy show every time she wins. Sister Bear knew exactly who Mama was talking about. In this scene, Sister Bear is thinking about a time that she had made a big braggy show when she won. So this shows me an evidence that Sister was thinking about being prideful and vain. Finally, in this third scene, we see Sister Bear showing words that are prideful and arrogant. Now for that sign, said Sister. Those boys were just being mean because I out-hit them and won all their marbles. They're bad losers. Here I see Sister Bear saying words that are prideful and arrogant, and maybe a little mean too. But I found three instances in this book using words, actions, and thoughts to show that Sister Bear had a prideful and mean, arrogant character trait. And that was really the point of this story. And now, as we finish up looking at this book, you can think back to all of the characters in these books. They all had good character traits, good, strong ones. But Sisters was really prideful and arrogant.
So, what I want you to do now is I want you to take your chapter book and I want you to go read a chapter of your book. And I want you to identify the traits of a character. Remember to look at what the character says, what the character is thinking, and what the character does. Write down several observations from your book. You should find at least three. Take good notes in your journal, and we'll see you next time.